We're trying to raise some awareness for mind and particularly male mental health. 1 in 4 lads suffer from stress, anxiety, mental health issues throughout their lives, and lads notoriously don't like talking about things.
3 or 4 years of IVF, a lot of sort of tragedies along the way, miscarriages, rushes to hospitals where babies were lost. And at the time, I knew I was upset, but I didn't think anything of it. I just thought I was a bit upset, thought I was a bit gutted at things. 2-3 years later on, that it all sort of come out as anxiety. I started having panic attacks. The most embarrassing, which was the first panic attack I had. I was in Aldi in Flint, in all places. Genuine story. Me and Nat were shopping in Aldi. Get up the first aisle, and I literally felt like I was going to have a heart attack. And I just remember running out of Aldi. I'm not even joking. Out of all the places in the world, running out of Aldi. And I was pushing the trolley as well, so the trolley was just, Nat was like absolutely unaware of. Turned round, trolley's in the middle of the I was going to say corridor. Aisle. In the middle of the aisle. And I've scarpered, and she finds me like shaking in the cart, and I actually said to her, I think I'm having a heart attack. And I remember saying it, I actually thought I was having a heart attack. I got this fear that it was going to happen again, and even though the actual panic attacks subsided, the anxiety of having the panic attacks was far worse than the panic attack itself. And in total, I was signed off work for about 4.5 months, and I didn't want to go out of the house. I felt like every time I went out of the house I was going to have a panic attack.
I've had panic attacks where I don't know why. I've not been anywhere in particular. I've not done anything, but it stems from anxiety. So like, it could be literally anything. Like, my phone rings and I miss a call. That person is getting hounded until they answer it, because I just, you know what I mean? Even if I don't know who the number is, my head goes.
Now you've said that, I'm definitely going to miss you.
I know, mate. And it's completely irrational. There's nothing behind it. There's nothing it's not even stemmed from anything, you know, like yourself. Yeah. There's nothing that's triggered that. It just happened since I was a kid.
I absolutely remember going to the doctors, and the doctor said, I think I've been about 3 times. And each first couple of times refused any help whatsoever, and then finally accepted these tablets. And I remember the first time I took one of the tablets, and my mum was there and Nat was there, and my head was in my hands, and the tablet knocked me absolutely sideways. And all I kept saying was, this isn't me, I can't be taking these tablets, I don't need these tablets. And I was even at that point, I was absolutely adamant that it wasn't me. Work were good enough to refer me to someone who spoke to me about stuff. And I remember having literally a stand-up row with this guy, and he was the nicest guy in the world. But I remember having a stand-up row with him saying, no, this isn't me, I'm not like this. And he was like, no, it is. And I was like, no. And I was getting more and more, I was literally furious with him. And it was months later that I actually thought, you know what, it is a part of me. I've just got to acknowledge it's a part of me, and I've got to find a way of managing that side of my life, that I'm always maybe going to have a little bit of frailty. And you know what, this is why I'm glad we've come here today, because the more I've opened up about it, I can't think of a time when I was happier in my life, ever. You know, I've got a job I enjoy, I've got a beautiful wife, I've got 2 kids who I absolutely adore, and I've got everything I ever want. But it's taken me to admit my frailties to myself, to sort of reach that point of happiness, if that makes sense.
Like, my story is more depression, and I think I was probably depressed for 3 or 4 years before I did anything. I wouldn't get help, I wouldn't talk about it, I wouldn't admit it to I didn't admit it to anyone, because I didn't admit it to myself. And I thought tablets don't do anything, because my thinking was like, whatever it is, a tablet isn't going to cure. All it's going to do is mask it.
Yeah.
Then when I stop taking them, I'm back at square one.
It's like a plaster.
Yeah, it's literally papering over the cracks. That was what I thought at the time. But then my mum spoke to me one day. My mum's really, really ill. She's got like a really bad liver condition. She takes like a box of Smarties worth of tablets a day. You'd be shook as she'd rattle, do you know what I mean? And she said to me one day, look, not one of these cures my illness. Not one. But it gets me through the day. It makes the pain drop enough so I can get up, I can move, I can get out of bed, I can do this, that and the other. And that's when it clicked, and that's when I was like, right, I need to get some help. And the prescription, I can't remember what it was for the first time round, but it didn't work very well. Made me fart like mad. Like, I don't know if you've ever had, like, if any of you have ever taken out, they make you fart so bad. And like, and like, and that was embarrassing. So I'm embarrassed myself for taking them because I've kind of stupidly, I realise now, by the time I think like, well, I've been defeated here, I haven't quit, but I've given in, and I'm not what I would like to be as a person. And I was in the same frame of mind as you. I was like, this isn't me. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm the person I portray, not the person I actually am. Because to most people outwardly, when I did come forward and speak about it and open up about it, so many people said that they were surprised, like with me, and I've probably been depressed since I was 18, 19.
Going back to the panic attacks, because I started having those about 8, 9 years ago. I can still remember when I had my first one, and it just came out of nowhere. You can feel it building up inside you. And for ones that happened later on, there's like triggers that you can start. You kind of get in, like, you kind of palpitations. You can kind of feel it's like a tidal wave. You can see it coming from a mile away, and you kind of isolate yourself away from things, and you know. Like you said, you get your back up if someone's like, I think, there might be something wrong, and well, no, there isn't. But deep down, there is. It was just admitting it.
It's a stigma, isn't it?
It's a stigma, it's a massive stigma.
I've spoken to yourself, I've spoken to others, and you start to realise you're speaking to other people, and it's helped me anyway, because you're like, you're not the only one. Work kind of helped me and sent me to a counsellor for 6 weeks, and like, that was great, because it's all about setting yourself like kind of little goals and stuff. Because for me, it was always like everything would blow out of proportion. Yeah. Everything was always a big, it's the end of the world. Everything, like, someone might have said something you didn't like, but it's the end of the world, and it's breaking everything down and kind of realising when you're feeling yourself getting like anxious about something. It's all about just trying to think logically.
I remember the doctor saying to me, you need to go outside, and I was like, you need to go and exercise, all of the usual things they'll say to you. And the last thing I wanted to do, I can't sleep at night. I'm getting about 2.5 hours kip a night, and then it's broken. It's not even 2.5 hours kip in a go. It's like broken 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. And then I'm being awake since 4 o'clock in the morning. The last thing I want to do when I get up, finally, is go for a run.
Go for a run,
Just don't do it. But and the other thing that bothered me, like really bothered me, probably more than anything, was being seen out in public, particularly while I was off work, in a public place where I thought there was a danger I might have a panic attack.
Yeah.
And it was the worst feeling in the world, where I thought, if I go to the shop, if I go to Chester, whatever I might do, I bump into someone I know, and then suddenly I freak out. My guard's gone. Yeah. Everyone knows. That's probably when I spent more time anywhere. It's only more time than I've ever done in the hills, because I never thought I was going to bump into anyone.
Yeah.
I used to go for random walks. I was getting a little bit of exercise at the same time, and I felt sort of safe because I didn't feel like I was going to bump into anyone.
It's like a safe isolation.
It took me so long to go back to Aldi. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, it makes me laugh at them. They're like, what you need to do is raise your heart rate for 20 minutes a day. I'm like, I've had a panic attack at 3 hours. My heart rate's slowed down. It's like beating out my chest. It's not making me feel better now.
It's the stigma though, isn't it? And I think this is where I'm not a girl. I can't speak for them, but I think this is where particularly lads, from what I know of being a lad, I've been one for 27 years. A little bit longer. I know that I struggle to talk about stuff. I struggle to, and here we are doing it, but I mean at the time when I was ill, when I was at my worst, sort of lowest ebb, I couldn't. Nat was saying, talk to people, do this, do that, and I was like, I can't speak to anyone.
Horrible.
And then I tell you what, it was literally the best thing I ever did. It was
Wholeheartedly
finally getting that help that I needed.
You remember last year, because I had a panic attack at
No
work,
way.
and they
No
called
way.
an ambulance. And an ambulance, I was like, I'm okay, I'm okay. I don't need an ambulance. Oh, we've got to call an ambulance. So the ambulance arrives. They had their wires on me. I'm in the reception at work, and I'm just thinking, this is the worst thing you could be doing right
Yeah,
now.
'cause-
And you know the stigma's there, because I remember going back to work after, I say, 4.5 months off, and I settled in, and finally got over the fear of actually just going back to work and thinking I'm going to be found out in work. And then suddenly you find yourself getting better quite quickly. Once I started getting back into my normal routine, because
Yeah.
I was better, and I got back into that routine, I started feeling a hell of a lot better. And then suddenly, out of the woodwork, I'll openly admit, I am one of the loudest, shall we say nicely, mouths in the staff room at work.
It's not a shame.
No. And I got a good bunch of mates at work, and as soon as people sort of realised I was there and I was sort of back to my own sort of brash self, people started approaching me, people that I had no idea, like me, people that I had no idea had ever had anything wrong with them, who were going through very, very similar things.
Well, you know, you come out, people follow you, and they're like, it gives you that thing of actually, I can talk to him. So people, like, because when I did the same, like I came out on Facebook, which, you know, is the done thing these days, but I felt, and the reason I did it when I did it was because I felt guilty, because I felt like I'd lied to everybody I've ever met for the last 20 years. And then I pressed share on Facebook, and then I closed my laptop and I turned my phone off, and I went up Whipple Park and I walked up to the castle and I walked back, and then I logged on and I was like, and then people messaged me.
Yeah.
People messaged
Opened
me
up.
and said like, look, Alan, you know, I'm in the same boat. People don't judge. Even people that you think would, a lot of the time don't. They might not open up in the way that you do, but I don't think there's as much to be scared of as people make out. And that's what I've always told people when they've said that they want to open up about it. I've said, well, if someone came to you and said it, what would you do? Well, I'd talk to them. And there you go. Stigma, I think it is going massively. I think the stigma now is on us actually doing it, actually talking. Because I tell people to talk all the time. This is the first time I've talked openly. I've had a couple of conversations with you in passing, but this
Yeah.
is the first time I've talked openly in I don't even know how many years.
That's the thing, it is an illness.
Yeah, it is,
And that's the
that's-
thing when like you like to yourself, and that's you being again defeatist, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
like blaming yourself.
Absolutely.
But I'll be honest, like before I suffered, I was one of these. I was like, not having that. I was anti any sort of alternative medicine. I didn't particularly like traditional medicine, I wanted alternative medicine. But it was the one thing that sorted me out, and I hold my hand up with talking about it with some random stranger who was telling me, this is a part of you. I was like, no. It's absolutely sorted me out. I would just say, if anyone ever gets offered help, you've got to grasp it, and you've got to grasp it as quickly as you can, because if you don't, if you're like me, and you put it off because you don't think that it's you don't think there's anything wrong with you just get getting worse and worse and worse.
You wouldn't do it with anything else. Do you know what I mean?
No.
If someone ran you over in a car and they went, do you want me to phone an ambulance? You wouldn't go, no, pal, I'm fine.
Like for me, do you know when you're like thinking about, you're almost like the reasons why you're putting it off, and it's like the tough thing is, it's like, don't want to bother the doctor.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I don't know.
and, and oh, what if the doctor says that I'm fine? I know I'm not fine, and I don't want to walk out of there still being where I am.
Yeah.
It's like they know. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
The professionals.
Whatever it is, people need to actually
Try and find what they
find what helps you. Yeah. Like,
whether it's gaming or getting outside. Because when things get built up, like things go through my head, I'm like, I just get out. If I start getting worked up, I get like really worked up inside and just ready to pop. But I can find it coming out. It's just like,
Yeah, I found the same. I've had to have a focus. You
Yeah,
have to put
you
something
just-
outside of
yeah.
everything else.
Number of times I've been outdoors with you and you've said something along the lines of, this is my escape from everything.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I remember you saying that loads of times when
It is.
we've been in the mountains.
I don't know. It's the scenery. I don't know. Just looking around and the quietness, the tranquil is great.
I'm the same. Nat literally will tell you that I am a different person. If I've not managed to get out in the week, I'm tense, I'm argumentative, and I just need that. I need that release. I need that breathing space.
Yeah.
And I think it all stems back to when I was ill, and it was that I knew the first steps of me getting better with me being outside, being in the hills, and because I could actually be outside rather than cooped up watching Jeremy Kyle
Yeah.
on repeat.
If something's under the hammer, you're alright.
Yeah, after
it's
10
happy days.
after 11 o'clock when
Luke
the
Swimming as
hammer's
well.
finished,
Yeah, Luke Swimming's
it's
fine.
downhill from there.
There was a
isn't
point
it?
where I thought I was going to be on Jeremy Kyle if I stayed in the bedroom any longer.
My distraction was computer games. Then I'd go and play it, and then I'd get angry, and then that became my, like, I'd get like physical with the control pad. And the amount of
what way?
hundreds.
I love you.
I feel like claustrophobic sometimes, or everything's getting me down, or whatever it is. It feels like it's on. And I'm like, I need to get out. I need to do something. And I do feel like I should do this more often, like massively, because for a start, I'm that bad at it. I need to get fit. Do you know what I mean? I can't be having you carry me back everywhere I go. But also, I can 100% see why your head would feel in a better place up here. On a small scale, I take the dog out.
Yeah.
I just
So
like
you
an
do
hour.
the local walk around
Yeah,
the park.
I just
or-
because like I'm quite lucky because near me
it
in,
could
in
be anything,
Sheffield,
though, couldn't it?
there's some nice parks, and I go.
So what would you say then to lads out there who are watching this, who know that they're suffering, don't want to tell anyone about it because they're exactly like us, they didn't want to admit it to anyone. What would be your best bit of advice to them?
So do what you need to do to address that.
Whether see a doctor or
See a
find
doctor.
something that can help you.
I
take
think the
that
finding
away,
thing
though,
is
right?
definitely
Finding
the
things, try
main
different
one.
things, like whatever it is. Like
It's the amount of people you actually realise once you kind of once you open up about it, you
the weight
You
that
could-
gets lifted is unbelievable when you open
And then
up.
you
Oh,
don't find
yeah.
how many other people are
Yeah,
in the
and
sort
other
of same
people and
boat.
that.
it's
Yeah.
crazy
The more you
that
talk about it.
just the confirmation of something you already know, just
Yeah,
like
I'm putting it out there. Like you don't realise how inspiring it is to other people. Like inspiring sounds more epic than I mean it, but like you know,
it's that like you're not the only one. You're not alone. It's almost
And
like there's other people there.
there's
kind
people you wouldn't pin down
like
in it.
yeah.
Massively. There's people that some people you kind of think you can understand if they've been through something, particularly at a young age or whatever it might be, you can kind of see it. But there's other people that, like, they caught me out the blue when you opened up.
Yeah.
You have to accept it. That's the key, I think.
Yeah.
The key is accepting it.
Yeah.
Once you accept it, everything else starts to fall into place. Because if you accept it, you're more open to help. If you're open to help, you'll find that thing. You'll find what it is that you can do to help it. And that's the thing.
As Jerry Springer said, be good to yourselves
Yeah.
and each other.